Hello, everybody. That's wonderful, Saroj. I love it. Love it. Very nice.
Thank you.
Good
It
morning,
was
everybody. It is so wonderful to see all of you. Prejuan, that is beautiful. Is that Taylor's painting? I recognize it that it is Taylor's painting. Very nice. And
yes, that's my painting.
yes, very nice. And Dolly, I love your painting too. Beautiful. Very, very nice. I'm so happy to see all of you. All right, so today we are going to study Matisse. Let me try to share my screen. Share. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about Matisse. Matisse loved color. You see this painting in the background? That's mine. And I chose it because it has very brilliant color. It's an abstract painting. So Matisse is also another leading figure in modern art, particularly the Fauve group. Okay, he was born on December 31st in 1869 in France. He spent time in London, Corsica, and France. Lived in Nice, and he died at the age of 84. So he lived a very long life, very long, productive life. But towards the end of his life, he was pretty sick. He had arthritis, and he couldn't have the use of his fingers. So, I mean, like, he couldn't paint or move around so much. So, what did he do? He used to make collages. So, he would paint papers or not, and then make collages out of, colorful paper and put it together. This was really interesting thing that Matisse did, even though he was sick and couldn't move around much. Okay. What was his education? So Matisse was a lawyer. So his dad was really upset that, wanted to give up the practice of law, and become a full-time artist. That's what he did. He wanted to become an artist. And so he studied at the Académie Julian in 1891. He was the student of uh, Bouguereau and Moreau, and he was influenced by Chardin, Poussin, Russell, and Manet. And he studied Van Gogh's painting. Okay. The one thing that he was really influenced by was John Russell. He was very influenced by John Russell, because he said that Russell used color brilliantly. And it is quoted, this is his quote. What Matisse said is that Russell was my teacher, and Russell explained color theory to me. And so Matisse is a master of color. You know how I told you about color theory? There are three primary colors, and then if you mix the primary colors, they become the secondary colors. And then if you mix these secondary colors and primary colors, they become the tertiary colors. So there is a way you can, complement, you can put colors together that complement each other, and so forth. And so that study of color is called color theory. Okay. And I'm fascinated by color. And it's not just me that I'm fascinated. People have been fascinated with color for a very long time. Okay. And so that's why, I want to study color and its effect on people's health and well being. Okay. So that's what I like to do. Anyway, so let's look at some of Matisse's famous paintings. So this is called Green Stripe. It's a portrait of his wife. It's also called Madame Matisse. It was done in 1905, and it is there in Copenhagen, at the Museum of Kunst. Okay, so let me ask you a question, since none of you are muted. Why do you think this painting of Matisse is called Green Stripe? Look at the painting for a little bit. And tell me why if you think it's called Green Stripe.
Because there is a green stripe on the forehead to the nose and the lips.
Yes, fantastic. Look at that.
And V shape also green it is.
Yes, you are very, very observant, Prem. That's exactly right. I didn't know why it was called green stripe, but yes,
Green color above the lips and on the lips.
yeah. So look at that. What else do you notice about this painting? What's the expression of this woman in the painting?
Sorrow.
I guess serious.
Very serious.
Sad.
Yes, Haley. Yes, exactly. Very serious. And what else do you
Yeah.
notice? I'll give you a hint. This region versus this region. So what did Matisse do here? This is lighter, this is dark, right? So to bifurcate the light and the dark, you know how the old masters,
I'll bring that
if you look at the old masters,
We're learning about Matisse.
I just muted all of you because I don't want background noise. But I will unmute you once I want to ask you a question again. Okay, so uh, in the old masters, what would happen? You would not see a green line across the face because you're trying to move from the light area of your face to the darker area of your face. There would be they would play on the painting with just little brush strokes, and sort of it would be a gradual transformation of color. But Matisse took it to the other extent. Look at his painting. Another thing, I'm going to unmute all of you and ask you, what else do you see in this painting? It's a portrait. So you see what I'm trying to get at by showcasing all these paintings of artists, is that their styles were so different,
He
right?
looks more like Japanese.
Japanese, okay? All right. What else
The
do you
hair, the hair and the
Second one,
half
eyebrow
face
is
is
very
covered with
big
a
and
mask.
another one is
Yes.
small.
The half face is,
Yes.
it's a mask on the half face.
Yes. Any other things that you want to tell me about this painting? Compare it to the old masters' paintings. Like if you look at some older paintings, what's the difference here in terms of color? Does a face look like this? Like when you paint a face, like somebody's face, and if an old master was painting it versus Matisse, what do you see? You see that this painting has a lot of color, right? So there is no right or wrong way. So when you look at your paintings on my last class, which is the PowerPoint 12, we can see that all of us painted the same subject, but we are interpreting it in different ways. That would be like a revelation to us when we see that, because everybody is doing their own thing, and it's beautiful. So Matisse did this painting with a ton of color. There's green over here, there's purple, there's red, and there's this. And then the other thing that people say when I read is that he painted his wife rather pensive, not very, very happy, you know. Maybe they were not having a good time with each other or something. But that's how this is, okay?
She doesn't look very happy.
No, she doesn't. Here's another painting. So all these paintings that I'm putting together for you, they're not in a certain chronological order. I did do that purposefully. Okay. So this painting is called The Snail. Remember I told you that Matisse was rather sick um, when towards the end of his life, and he couldn't paint. That was really sad that he couldn't paint. But instead, what did he do? He would go around in his wheelchair, and he would take all these papers and they would paint it with gouache. This is gouache paint. It's a different type of paint. He would paint it. Then he would take his scissors and cut it and make a collage out of it. So what he did was he called this the snail. So he arranged it. If you look at it, this is arranged in a circular fashion like a snail is. But this is actually a paper collage. And it's famous. It's at the Tate Modern Collection in London. Okay, and this is a Matisse collage painting. This next painting is called The Dance. This is a very iconic painting. So it has been acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, and it's a very famous painting. So he did two paintings that were rather large, and this shows five people dancing. But then the other painting that he did corresponding to this was music, and I'll show you that in a little bit. It and what do you see? The people are not like real people, right? If you went to the old masters, how did they paint? They painted people like almost like a photograph. It was like you could literally see that sometimes you could get into the painting, you could see the scenes that they were painting. But here Matisse has taken a completely different outlook. It looks more very primitive type of art. But look at the use of color, you know, the blue and the green, and then the salmon colored people. So he was just a master of color, and it looks really nice the way he did it. This is this is the goldfish. So he painted a whole bunch of goldfish paintings. I think he had 9 of these paintings that he drew goldfish on. And he did it in the spring of 1912 and early summer of 1912. So whenever you paint, okay, some people used to paint like Monet used to paint the same subject over and over and over again, right? Monet did the same things. He would paint the same haystacks, but at different times of the day. So when you start painting, make sure, hold on. When you start painting, make sure you do a series of it. You know, do a series in blue, or a series in purple, or do a series of palm trees, or whatever your heart desires. Do a series on leaves. So this was a series of goldfish. It's just a still life with goldfish, and it's not. I mean, to me, it looks interesting, I would say, but that's the goldfish. Here's another one. This painting was completed in 1947. It's bold and it's very light-hearted, but it's actually a very serious painting. So it's called The Fall of Icarus. So there is a legend of Icarus that Icarus was a Greek mythological hero, and he really wanted to fly. So he suddenly made wax wings apparently, and he started flying to the heavens. And then when his wax wings, I think something happened, and then he started falling, and he fell down, and he's just falling in this big blue sky. See, he's reaching the stars, but then Icarus is falling, and he's still sort of like the way his arms are, he's just in free fall. And yet, so therefore it's a sad painting, but then Matisse made it look rather beautiful, you know, with the blue sky and the stars. But remember, these are collages, okay? And that's Icarus. Let me see. So, yeah, he made this. There were 20 pieces like this, and he made it for his famous book called Jazz, okay? Here's another painting. It's called The Joy of Life. Picasso, when he saw this painting, remember I told you, all these famous painters are just like people, like you and I. Sometimes we get jealous of each other. Sometimes we're happy with each other. Sometimes we're inspired. So Picasso, when he saw this painting, he said, I need to do something. And so, inspired by this painting, he went and created the famous painting called The Ladies of Avignon. Okay? So that is one of the stories of this. So that's The Joy of Life. Let's move on to the next painting. The landscape at Collioure. I had to literally go and check the pronunciation of Collioure. It's a place, and this painting is you can go see it at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. And look at the painting. I mean, it's Very interesting. He's, what do you think he has done in here? Let's look at it. Let's see what your views are on this painting. Tell me, what do you think of this painting? Anybody? Is it a portrait? Is it a landscape? What is it?
Oh, it's a landscape because it says landscape.
A landscape, yes. Yeah.
Just like
Mhm.
But you see, like, look at the background of the painting. I don't think is there color in there? Henri Matisse. There is a signature. Remember, I told you always sign your art. You know, when I started painting, I did not like my signature in the painting. And so I would paint it. I mean, I would sign my painting in the back. Okay. So then I discussed it with a lot of my painter friends. I said, what do you think? Should we paint on the front of the painting? Because to me, it was like an eyesore. Like it took away from the painting. But the consensus of all my painter friends was that, no, you should sign your painting. So when you do a painting, make sure you sign it and sign it in the front. You can sign it right here on the right-hand side bottom or left-hand side bottom. Sometimes what I do is I disguise my signature into the landscape. So it looks like part of the landscape if I was doing a landscape, but then it's my signature. Okay, so different people sign their paintings in different forms. I like my signature to be sort of one with the painting, if possible. But many a times that's not possible. But be sure to sign your paintings, okay? So let's move on. This painting is called Music, and it can be seen at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. It's rather sort of like a really big wall, you know, like it occupies a big wall. It's like 100 by 153 inches. So it's like dance. It aims to show man's attainment of a state of completeness by immersion in creativity. I'm just quoting this. So basically, if you immerse yourself in creativity, it makes you a whole person. That's what dance and music, these two paintings communicate. Again, the same thing. Orange people, definitely none of us are orange. And there's the blue sky and the green. But it's gorgeous. Like, you know, it's interesting. It's very primitive, the way he's painted it, but it's a famous painting. Okay? Let's move on. So never stop creating. Go ahead and create, and you may think that it's nothing, but maybe you'll create a masterpiece. And look at this. Look at this painting versus this painting. I mean, so Matisse was totally capable of doing an old master type painting, right? This atmosphere looks like a very relaxing, gorgeous place where the woman is reading probably her letters, you know, that she's stored away in her little cupboard over here. Is that like a canvas roll over there? Is she a painter? I don't know. But this looks like a fantastic little scene. So Matisse was capable of doing this, or he was capable of doing this. Completely different styles, right? So that's what we are looking at. Now look at this. This is called the open window. This is what he saw when he was in Collio. And he opened up the window and he would see this gorgeous, beautiful scene in front of him. See, one of the places I want to visit is Corsica. It is absolutely a beautiful place. And he spent time over there. So hopefully someday I'll get there. Here's another painting of Matisse. It's called Woman in a Hat. Again, look at the brilliant use of color. It's color everywhere. Nobody's face is green and orange and red and, you know, all of that with red, you know, people do have red hair, yes. But look at that. It's just beautiful the way he's done this. Maybe I should try painting a portrait like that. Maybe I will. Okay, maybe I'll make a selfie of myself and paint myself. That would be a chore. Here's a still life, and it's a still life with oranges. And you can see it in the Washington University Gallery in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a study of tertiary and complementary colors to create a sense of form in this painting. So a lot of tertiary colors were used to create, like, there's harmony in this painting. You can see it and you like it. You tend to like it, okay? This last painting that I want to show you is the Red Room. It's again in the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. It's interesting how he's painted it. It's he rather put, like, you know, simple straight lines, showed the window, there's a scene outside the window, a chair, tablecloth, wallpaper, and a lady sitting with fruit, perhaps having, is that, it's not tea, but she's having some type of a drink. So anyway, so those are some of Matisse's paintings I wanted to share with you. But now I want to tell you a little bit about composition. So when you compose a painting, these are the things you want to look at. Balance, you know, there should be balance, okay? Is there balance in this painting? Yes, there is, okay? Then contrast, look at it. Is there contrast? Yes, red, green, blue, we have contrast. Focus or emphasis, is there a focal point on the painting? What's the focal point here? Is it the lady or is it the window outside? So what is the focal point? Is this the whole presentation of a ceremony of where she's having some fruit? Maybe it's fruit and some juice, maybe that. Is there motion or movement in the painting? The proportions, okay? Let's see, are the proportions correct? What if if Matisse made this woman really, really big? That would be out of proportion. And then if the fruits were really big, that would be out of proportion. So there's proportion in this, the chair, the table, the window, there's some proportion in it, okay? The rhythm and then the unity. There is a rhythmic movement of the blues, and, you know, and there is unity. There's a unity in this whole painting, okay? So these are the elements of composition I want you to think about. You may do more studies on this later on as you grow up or you are more interested in art, but these are some of the things. Then the other thing I wanted to tell you is the golden ratio. Remember the very first or second class I told you about the rule of thirds, right? You divide like a canvas or a painting into 3 portions and then put your subjects in between these portions and it would be pleasing. But now I want to tell you about the golden ratio. It is a ratio that exists when a line is divided into 2 parts and the longer part A divided by the smaller part B is equal to the sum of A plus B divided by A. Okay, I don't want to confuse you, but it's a simple one. But when you do this, say you take a long piece of your canvas, okay, and you divide it so that the longer part is A and the shorter part is B, and then the sum of A plus B divided by the longer part A is equal to 1.618. All you have to remember is that there is something called the golden ratio, and that ratio, that number is 1.618. And this number is supposed to be aesthetically pleasing, like it's pleasing to the eye, okay? Now, this golden ratio is also called as the golden mean, the golden section, the divine proportion, the divine section, the golden cut, or just 1.6180339887. Okay, that's the ratio. And it appears everywhere in nature. Everywhere in nature. Okay, let's see. Let's look at it's also there is the golden spiral or the Fibonacci sequence is a series in which the pattern of each number is the sum of the previous two numbers. Let's start with 0. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8, and so on. That's the Fibonacci sequence. Okay. So now let's look at the golden spiral examples. These are all things that occur in nature. This is a hurricane, the eye of the hurricane. This is a sunflower. So again, the eye of the hurricane. This is a shell. Okay, these are some golden spiral examples. And the golden ratio exists on your body. If you measure your hand, and then you take that, if that's 1, this would be from here to here is 1.618. Isn't that strange? So today's, for you, your homework, you go and measure this and see whether that's right. And look, golden ratio is present everywhere, everywhere. Okay? Here, Parthenon, then there's the Taj Mahal, same thing. You put that in, there is A plus B, and this is 1 is to 1.618. Isn't that absolutely phenomenal? It's unbelievable. So you take one rectangle and then you cut it down, and then this A plus B, this whole ratio is 1.618. It's unbelievable. And then it's present everywhere. At the Mona Lisa, the Eiffel Tower, the Last Supper. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And look at it. Even in the Vitruvian Man, the golden ratio is present. And then National Geographic has utilized this particular golden ratio, and everything in National Geographic is arranged. Because when you pick up a National Geographic and you look at it, it's beautiful, right? It's very pleasing to the eye, because what they've done is they've utilized this rule and arranged their photographs and their words exactly how it would be pleasing to the eye. So it's very, very interesting how golden ratio has been utilized everywhere. So let's paint like Matisse. What would you do? I'm going to unmute you, and you can tell me what you would like to paint and how you would like to paint. Okay? What do you think?
Me neither.
You want to paint like Matisse? What would you do? Would you use bold colors? Yes. Would you use expressive forms like the woman who was a little angry and sometimes expressive? They're like the dancers who were dancing really expressively, like the musicians who were playing their music. Even though it's primitive, there was expression in those paintings, right? Great composition. Simplify the objects. Like, this is a great lesson for people who are just starting out. I think I should have started out with Matisse, so it wouldn't be so overwhelming when you see the works of Vinci and Michelangelo and all those awesome people. But you see, you can do simple objects. No shading, flat, bold color applications, just apply color everywhere. So that's what a Matisse painting would be like. Now, when Matisse was sick, what did he do? He made collages. So what you can do is you can cut out like simple pieces of paper and from your sketchbook and paint all those papers different colors, right? And then go ahead and cut them into different shapes. And you can arrange it as a collage of something. Perhaps you'd make a bird out of it, or an elephant, or a flower, like sunflowers, or maybe a guitar. I don't know. So you could do a collage like Matisse, okay? And very simple organic forms. Now, use your imagination. Don't be afraid to use color. Express yourself and come up with your own style. Okay, remember, each person in this world, none of us look alike, right? Each person is unique. So why should our paintings be the same? We can copy Monet or we can copy other paintings, but we can learn from when we copy these famous paintings. But we don't have to be like Monet or Matisse. We have to be like Will or Jared or Dolly or Ridwan or Taylor or Haley or Prem or Saroj or Kusum, right? I love it, Bill. That's wonderful. So you see, come up with your own style. And guess what? I came up with my own style. And this painting, if you want to learn about it, you can click on that. And this is what I painted. I just take colors and slap it on. And I come up with something. And it's gorgeous. And I love it. So let's paint simple things. Today, you can use whatever you want. You can use watercolor. You could use watercolor pencils, you could use whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use watercolor pencils, okay? So let me go up and bring all those and let's all paint together, okay? So one of the things that Matisse did very well, in fact, Matisse was asked to make a glass cathedral, you know, like the stained glass in a cathedral. And he used very simple organic shape and made this cathedral for some women, some nuns in a church. And it's a gorgeous place. I wish I had put that in here, but maybe I will find that and send it to you in my next email, okay? So, or you could look it up. So let's paint some simple organic shapes, okay? This is what I used to paint when I was a little kid. Let me show you. Here's my book. I painted little daisies. I would draw it, like, you know how people doodle all the time? So this is what I would doodle all the time. This is from my childhood. So I would make little daisies, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that form? Very simple, organic form, right? So I will do either 1 or sets of 3, never 2. I used to do this as a child. I still do it. It just gives me so much satisfaction to do something like this. And then, because it's a watercolor pencil, I can just go ahead and color it in just a little. I'm going to just color it in. So you go ahead and draw me some shapes, and then let's look at it. And what I'm going to do is put in some color in between. I'm just going to then take a complementary color. I kind of like, let's see, what should my background be? What do you think my background should be, guys?
Green.
Green, okay. I'll put green in the background. And then what do I do? Because I'm using watercolor pencils, what can I do? I can just take a paintbrush, dip it in water, and color it in. Simple. So I'm going to put green. And remember, he didn't shade anything. He just applied bold colors. That's what we are going to do. So see, I just colored a little bit in, just like that, very quickly. And then I'm going to put green because all of you said put green. So I'm going to put green in. I'm going to just draw the green in. I'm just scratching the color green in. Lots of green. Lots of green. Okay, so let's look at one of his paintings. So I just put in red and a little bit of green. The green is too light, but let's look at, it says over here, no shading, but I kind of disagree with that because if I look at some of his paintings right here, of course there is shading. What do you mean he didn't use shading? Of course there is shading. So go ahead and do some shading there. Okay, look at that. There is shading. There is character in that painting. It's not just a flat application of color. You know, so go ahead and put in like if, but of course then he used only 3 main colors, right? Over 4, actually 5. There's the yellow of the violin. There is the black, the orange, the blue, and the green. But then there is shading for sure, because he didn't, the application of color is not just flat. There is character to that color. So I'm going to introduce character to my painting. So I'm going to take a darker green, okay? And I'm going to shade it in. So there's light and dark, and that's fine. So see, now see there's like green coming up. So let's continue to do that. I love watercolor pencils. What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite medium?
Red.
Red, like what? Color pencils, paint, acrylic paints, oil pastels, what?
The watercolors.
The watercolors? Good. Very good.
Like paint.
I mean, what I'm doing is I'm doing a mix of the acrylics and the watercolor.
You are? Let me see. Can I see your painting? Where are you? I don't see you. Oh, there you are, Haley. Nice, nice. Very good. Very good. Make sure you send all these paintings in so I can put it in the PowerPoint, okay?
Okay.
Send it in by tomorrow, everybody who's listening in and participating. I've gotten a lot of your paintings, which I'm really proud of, but I want some more.
What are you guys doing?
They're doing something.
Because you didn't listen when I told you.
So remember, like when you want to showcase like differences in texture in your painting, like if you're using color pencils, what could you do? You could vary the shading techniques, right? So that's going to show up differently when you apply the water to the watercolor pencil, and that shading is going to be different, and it'll make your painting quite interesting.
Well, there's a trick I learned with color pencils and crayons, and it's if you take like the flat piece or like a flathead screwdriver, you have to put like most of the pressure with crayons. You could scrape off the top layer of wax, and it looks like it's almost printed on.
Oh, wow. Send us an email about that, Haley, so that we all can learn from it, okay? So when you apply, just send us that technique that you learned. That's so interesting.
I found it on a YouTube video.
You did? Good for you. YouTube is a good place to learn, by the way. Lots of people are putting in lots of good content on YouTube. So it's like nowadays, you know, you're not even, you guys are so little. When I was young like you, I had to just go to the library to learn whatever it is that I wanted to learn. And then when I did my PhD, I had to go to the library and spend a lot of time in the stacks. But I don't think you know what a stack is, do you?
No.
Oh, exactly. So, but now your information is right on your fingertips. You can open up your computer, surf the net, and learn a lot of good stuff. But then when you're surfing the net, you have to be very careful because there's a lot of bad information out there too. And if you come across bad information, make sure you tell your parents about it. Okay, because that's
I
not.
think I have one of my old sketchbooks in here. I could grab one of those and show one of my old arts that I have from like maybe last year or the year before.
Yeah, do that, do that. That's nice.
You have reached 429-1565. Please leave a short message.
Now, the thing about painting is it's also very meditative, isn't it?
There.
Very therapeutic. And, you know, there's a rhythmic motion to everything that you do. And it occupies you. It occupies your brain.
I'm currently trying to draw the trees that I have in my front yard.
You are?
This is like a miniature version of it because it's just way too big to draw
Very
the
nice.
entire.
Very nice. Very nice. Even if it's a
Me and my brother used to like to estimate the height of the tree that we have in our front yard.
Yeah.
I've before estimated for it to be between like 100 feet to 100 meters. Although it's probably much shorter than 100 meters. I'm going to say like at least 50 yards.
Okay, very good, very good. Very good. So does anybody want to share? Abigail, you want to share what you have done so far?
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
My tree is so big that you have to be like halfway across the neighborhood to see about to the top of it.
Really? That's a
that's how huge it is.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's literally the biggest tree in the entire neighborhood.
It is?
And I think it's bigger than most of the trees within a pretty long distance, actually.
Very nice.
It's one of the biggest trees. I think it's the biggest tree around within a pretty long distance around my house.
Wow, that's.
I can't go anywhere near my grandma's trees.
Oh yeah? Why?
Squirrels throw walnuts at me.
She has walnut trees?
Oh, I love trees.
That's
I'm
good.
currently putting water on top of this.
Okay, good. Georg, are you there? Abby, Evan, Madison, Priscilla, Emma, All of you are signed in, but I don't see your beautiful faces. Priscilla, Savannah, Taylor and Persaus, Bejuan, Jesse, you're not there. I don't see your pretty faces. Oh, there you are, Evan. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. There you are, Georg. Let me see what you're doing, Georg. Are you making a collage? That's fun. That's really nice.
Girl, you
Yeah, I am.
Really nice. What are you working on, Evan? Huh? So does anybody need any help, like a little bit, like how to draw and paint and stuff like that? Do you guys need any, like, you know, pointers? We'll continue to meet maybe like once a month. I'll come up with a new lesson, and you're welcome to join me when I present the new lesson anytime you have time. Okay,
All right.
that'll be nice. So, Kusum, Saroj,
Yeah.
you guys want to show me what you're doing?
Yeah, Hyacinth. I am
Very
trying something.
Very nice. And
Thank you.
very nice.
Thank you so much.
How about you? And Prem?
Yes, you want to see?
Yes. Oh, nice.
Something? I don't know.
Very colorful. Very nice. I love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Dolly, you want to share your work with us so far?
I have been doing a lot of figuring out what I'm gonna do, but yet.
You have done, come a little closer to the computer so I can hear you.
I haven't done much yet or anything yet because I've been figuring out what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay, okay. That's all right. That's all right. Anybody else wants to share?
I'm currently adding some more detail with the dark brown from the regular colored pencils.
Mhm. So this is the first time that we all are working independently of each other. I'm not trying to show you anything, but we're just and then this is the natural progression of how I would like to teach a class. That, you know, we've learned about shading, we've learned about the use of all the different media that you've been given in your kit, and now
Sort of going between green, like watercolored pencils and regular colored pencils. It's actually making a really nice effect. Switching between watercolored pencils and regular colored pencils actually can make a really nice effect. I was
Oh,
just experimenting with that right now.
oh, that's
It's looking
interesting.
really nice.
Very nice.
It's really good if you're like drawing a tree, the brown from the regular colored pencils.
Very nice.
This can actually make some really nice darker highlights
Right.
on like trees and stuff. So I use that and it looks pretty good.
I have
Right.
some of it done.
I think it'll also look good to make like the grass around the tree.
Uh-huh. So during your last class, when we are sharing, would you like to talk about your paintings? I think that would be wonderful. There's no need to be shy about it, but I would love for you to tell us about your painting. Would that be okay?
That'd be fine.
I'm actually really proud of this. I like how this turned out.
I
Yeah.
don't know how this turned out.
That's beautiful. It's so colorful.
Let me see.
Trust yourself.
Love yourself.
That's
So far,
beautiful.
this is what I've done on this.
Yes, of course. Very nice. Very nice. Who else is on there? Georg, show me what you've done so far. Let's see.
Just half.
Just getting that in the chat.
Did you mute yourself?
No. No one's listening to us.
That looks nice.
Really sad.
Trying to finish this within our class time. I have 9 minutes. I have 2 more flowers to color in and activate it with watercolor.
This is what I have so far.
Make it. Let me see. Nice. Very nice. Yep.
I don't know what that means.
Trying to finish this really quickly. So
I figured out apparently if I press F12, it opens the code on Google.
Oh,
I just accidentally pressed F12 instead of F11 when I was trying to check the time.
mhm.
And it just opened up all the code and stuff.
Oh,
I've actually experimented with changing code on online video games to see what happens. Not ones that are like playing with other players, but like just games off the internet,
mhm.
like on coolmathgames.com. I've tried.
I don't know,
mixed
Jared. You
it
might put something bad on your computer because I've tried that before and we had to work a virus out.
Really?
Yeah, I just changed a little bit of code on the game Amidst the Sky. I just removed a random piece of code. And I think I removed some stuff from an update to the game
Oh, wow.
because usually there isn't any text that appears when you like exit the different levels and stuff,
Mhm.
which then there was when I removed that piece of code. It was hilarious.
Wow.
One of these days he's not going to talk about it.
I'm trying to rush
That's
through
the
this.
only time I've actually experimented with changing code.
Mhm.
But I've thought about changing like adding a little bit of code on Minecraft to prank my brother, which would be absolutely hilarious.
I don't think Milo would like that, Jared.
Milo would not like.
Who is Milo?
That's
I'm
his
lost.
brother.
Oh, okay.
Milo's my older brother.
Be nice to
No.
you.
I've also thought about changing some code on a mod for the game Terraria, which I play sometimes. Which I'll have to do on the big computer I have in my living room because my laptop that I'm using right now will not be able to handle the mods I'm talking about for Terraria. It's called the Calamity mod, and it's definitely too much for this computer to handle.
Oh, wow.
Regular Terraria.
All right, so guys, it's 5 more minutes to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Let me see. There. This is what I did with my watercolor pencil. And now I'm going to activate it with water and let's see what happens, okay? Voila. It's like magic. That's something. What a brilliant color. It's definitely not red. It's more pinkish. See the difference between activated watercolor versus inactivated watercolor?
I think I finished mine finally.
Show me.
Let's see.
I just finished mine.
Very nice. Very nice.
I
Beautiful.
used the light and dark
Work.
green from the regular colored pencils to add some nice highlights to the grass around the tree.
No, I do not know him. Haley, but not this Haley.
You've known 3 Haleys before this class.
Yes, but I have not known this Haley. So.
So there's gonna be Bridget?
What?
I don't know. I didn't think.
You said there's gonna be bridges?
Bridget. I don't know.
Burgess?
Hyacinth,
Yes.
I have done this much. It is not complete.
Very
But I
nice.
just wanted to show it to you.
Very nice. Very nice. Put
I
a
just
background.
realized I forgot to put
Yeah,
leaves
green.
on the
I
tree.
will put green background.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good. Good. Very good. Excellent. We are out of time.
No.
Shall see if I can just finish this.
Wow.
No,
They make your own super cool.
it's not shooting.
Shh, leave him alone.
Nice actually.
I love seeing how the watercolor activates itself. It's so beautiful. I'm going to sit down and finish it really quickly.
You think that's scary? You've seen nothing. Okay? Because I am I'm way scarier than that.
I'm just curious about.
No.
That's filler.
Yeah.
But I can scare Philip. Guys, I found a popo.
I scared Philip once.
Found a
I hid in a
popo.
box.
Guys, I heard the
Yes,
popo.
thank you.
Can you
I
stop?
appreciate that,
Stop.
Haley.
We know
Appreciate
you hid
it.
in a box.
Watch.
No.
Look at our cat.
Oh my goodness.
The kitty. So cute.
I'm afraid to die because it's so cute.
Yeah.
He comes in here every Zoom meeting, lays on my.
Okay, so here I'm trying to finish up my activating the green. So I'm just putting the water on top and it's brilliant. See, you can see that it gets activated really good. So I'm going to finish it a little later. And it was wonderful to have you all today. Keep sending me all your paintings, please, so that we can get the PowerPoint 12 going, okay? It was lovely seeing all of you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.